Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday morning, June 7th, 2021. J.R. Fisher here. Good to see you. We're going to only have two sessions this week, Monday and Tuesday, because I'm going to be traveling, unfortunately. I will be shooting some videos of that trip, but I want to welcome everybody here. I do these live trainings each and every day, except for this week. Because I want to just help you out, start, run, and grow your online business. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Hit that subscribe button down there. Don't forget to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live. I usually have some type of agenda. What's going on, James? I appreciate you smashing that like button. He's got me beating weather, man. It's a lot warmer there in South Carolina than it is here. But I appreciate you guys being here, and I do have an agenda normally today. I'm going to be talking about a few things that you probably need to change if you want to be successful. However, if you've got any questions about starting, running, and growing online businesses, feel free to ask me. I am here. I'm at your disposal. I will be happy to help you out. Everything's working well. That's a good thing. I had a good weekend. I hope you guys did too. I got to start this week off and make some things happen. Make things happen. That's what we want to do. Matter of fact, here is my cup for the day. Okay, that's my cup for the day, so you understand what we're all about here. Not about dreaming, not about wishing or any of that stuff. We're here about doing. Doing is what we need to do. And you know, I was thinking about this the other day about being successful, and this is almost in anything, but what it takes to be successful. And the things you have to do, and it is very different. I mean, it's very different from not being successful. You do have to do different things. You have to practice different things. You have to act certain ways, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, and share those things with you. Any comments you have, I really do appreciate them. Please put them in that comment section below, so that we can talk about that. My computer's being a little bit slow with me today, but I want to kind of talk about what you got to change, because you do have to change things. I know I had to change things. Nobody wants to be broke. Nobody wants to be struggling financially. That's not what they want. Failure is never a destination we all want to head towards. Now, we may have to go through some of that to get there, but that's not where we want to end up. It seems like if you're falling behind and you're not getting to where you want, there may be some things that you need to change. You may not even realize yourself, okay? So I want to kind of bring them up in this session today. But there are extra things you can do. There are different determining factors that can really change the direction of what's happening in your life. If you want to become a different person, you really have to do different things. That's the truth. I'm not the guru who's going to tell you, you know, you don't have to work and, you know, you can buy my course and sit back 2 hours a week and just make millions of dollars, because you can't. It doesn't work that way. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes determination. It takes you putting forth the effort that you need to do. So perhaps you need to change some of the things I'm going to talk about today. And once you change those things, maybe you can get the results you want. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is develop clarity. Develop real clarity. Okay, it's not the government's fault. Yep, it's not the government's fault. You know, I was at In-N-Out Burger yesterday, and the starting salary, I think they said on the window, was $16 and some change, and it went up to $18 and some change. So everybody wanted this $15 an hour minimum wage fast food thing. Well, there you go, In-N-Out. You can go there and work, and you're going to be rich, and everything's going to work out. Now, we know that's not the truth. Because if you live in California, a small starter house is $1 million right now. And at $15 an hour, you'll never get it. Never happen. So I think you need to have more clarity. I think it's so easy to blame these surroundings around us, like the government. You know, if my guy gets in office, if my woman gets in office, then my life's going to be okay. No, it's not. Because let's take this politics thing here real quick first. Let's say that your politician gets in office and interest rates go way down. Okay, how is that going to change your life? And here's what I mean by that. The interest rates go down for everybody. You're still on the equal playing field. If they remain the same or they went down, they still go down for everybody. Or if they go up for everybody. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's in office. It just doesn't matter. These are distractions. These are all just distractions to tell yourself that somebody out there can control your life. They can't. It's your effort on a daily basis. It's your effort. It's not politics, guys. I know some tax things and tax breaks may help you a little bit here and there, but they help everybody. They don't just help you, okay? So you've got to realize, to develop this absolute clarity, that everything is up to you. 100% it's up to you. Next thing I'm going to tell you, which a lot of people ignore, is improve your relationships. Improve your relationships. Let's see here. James says your persona has somehow changed and it's not your biceps. I'm puzzled. Yeah, the beard's gone. I got rid of the beard. I got to go to a wedding this week, and I didn't want to look like the old man in the room because my beard grows out pretty white, but my hair doesn't. So I got rid of it yesterday, James. I did do that. And I got to tell you, my wife, who is 23 years younger than me, loves that beard. For some strange reason, that gray scraggly beard, she just loves it. I don't know. Who knows? But anyhow, you got to improve your relationships. And relationships really can affect your life. And I heard it say one time that, whoever you marry can determine your future and success. Whoever you marry can determine your future and success. Now, the first time around, I didn't do so well there. But the second time around, I did. And I do believe it can determine your future and success. I really do believe that, guys. It's hard to figure out why certain people are failures. But if you just stare at their circle of influence, their circle of friends, their family, their relationships, I think you can figure it out. If you are around 5 millionaires, you will be the 6th. That's how that works. Because you are going to be, your income will be the average of your 5 closest influences. That's just the way it works, okay? If you're around 5 top athletes, you'll probably be the 6th. Because everybody's going to be working out, and they're going to make you feel like you need to work out too. If you're around 5 confident people, guess what you'll be? You'll be the 6th confident people. If you're around 5 intelligent people, guess what you're going to be? The thing is, your circle of influence affects you tremendously. We don't put enough emphasis on this. That circle of friends, that family, whoever you choose to be your spouse, can really, really affect your life. I had a friend, and he's online. He's a military officer, and he does some stuff online. And he was married for years to this woman, and he just felt like she was holding him back. He just felt like she was holding back, and he's married somebody else now, and they've got a kid, and he says he feels like he's moving forward now. I have another ex-relative on my ex's side, who's been married to their husband for 30 some odd years, and she's leaving him because she felt like he is holding her back. So who do you have in your life that is either propelling you forward or holding you back? I know my wife helps me in my life. She does things to get me moving, get me forward, motivates me. And I try to do the same thing with her. That doesn't mean you're always easy on each other. The other day I came home, it was a Saturday, and I thought, well, I don't really feel like working out. I think I'll maybe ride the bike, if that. I just don't feel like working out today. And when I walked in the house, she was all ready to work out. And she says, are you ready to work out with me? I texted you. And I'm like, sure. And I didn't want to do it, but I was so glad afterwards that she did that. And she said, hey, let's work out. And that wasn't her years ago. She didn't do that, but she's changed in what she wants to do. And it's helped her too. Let's see, my experience is that women like scraggly whiskers. Yeah, Jessica may get upset when strange ladies can't resist fondling your beard. Possibly, I don't know. She's the only one I let do that, so I don't have to worry about that part. Next thing I'm going to tell you is to quit being busy. Quit being busy. Instead, be productive. Okay? A lot of people confuse this. They think because they're doing stuff that they're being productive. And they may be, but they may not. You've got to realize productive and busy are two different things. Vastly different. I mean, I can be, like jumping from project to project to project to project and never really completing anything, or I can stick with one thing and get that done and move on to the next thing and get that done. There's no such thing as multitasking. It doesn't exist. I don't know who started that idea. I don't know who started that thought. Your mind can only concentrate on one thing at a time. Only one thing at a time. If you jump back and forth, all you're doing is readjusting your mind each time to get into that new thing you're doing, and you're actually hurting your productivity. You're hurting your productivity because your mind has to keep changing gears. People live these busy lives and think that the more they work, the more successful they will become. And that's not necessarily the case. You could work your butt off and not be successful because you aren't productive. You aren't getting things done. They actually think there's pride in being busy or being overwhelmed. There isn't. There's pride in producing. Producing is what really matters. Getting things done is what really matters. Let me get another sip here. It is better for you to rethink the term busy or hard work. It really is. Rethink this. It's not what you think it is, guys. It's entirely different. Being busy doesn't make you more productive. It just makes you more busy. Doing smart work is what is really necessary to be successful. Try to rearrange your priorities and either eliminate or, this is a good one, delegate those activities that do not propel you to your goals. I do like a pre-edit on my videos when I'm shooting videos, and I give them to my video editor, and he completes the edit. He completes those edits because I don't have time to, and he's better at it and he's faster. So I delegate that thing out. We're moving into a new house and we have a huge backyard. I will not be cutting that backyard. I'm going to delegate that to a guy with a mower because that's not productive for me. Mowing grass is not productive. Now I had a really large yard in Virginia. Matter of fact, it was 3 acres. And I used to have to cut that yard. Not productive, okay? It took 3.5, 4 hours to cut that yard. It was ridiculous, okay? I'll never do that again. Unfortunately, this yard is still bigger than what I want, but it's nothing near the size of that one. So that's something. Number 3 is you gotta be productive, not busy, okay? And I'm on to my number 4 today. Number 4 will control every single thing else in your life if you don't get it right. Get your attitude positive. Get your attitude positive. That's number 4. Get your attitude positive. Now, don't think that you're going to be positive because you feel like it. That's not the case. You have to be positive when you don't feel like it. That's a talent. You have to be positive when you don't feel like it. When, you know, my wife says to me, do you want to work out? And I don't want to. And I say, of course I do. Of course I do. You've got to have the right attitude. Whether it's towards your work, whether it's towards challenges, whether it's towards obstacles, whether it's towards your relationships, you need to be positive. You need to have the right attitude to meet with whatever is presented to you. You are going to have difficulties in life. Everybody has difficulties. You know, I used to have, I managed a lot of salespeople, and a lot of them would come in late or not show up for a shift or whatever it may be, and they would tell me that they had personal problems. They had personal problems. And I'd be like, oh, wow, you have personal problems. You're the one. You're the one with the personal problems, huh? I never met anybody with personal problems. Hey, guys, let's face it. Everybody has personal problems. But those people who realize that they just got to handle those things and move forward and not let it interfere with their work or anything else, those are the people who are going to be successful. We all have personal problems. The right attitude will build your belief system. If you start thinking positive, no matter what the situation is, that's going to increase your confidence. That's going to improve your character. And it's also going to give you more energy. If you're constantly telling yourself that you're doing stuff you don't want to do and you hate what you're doing, you're wearing yourself down. I got news for you. You've never done anything you didn't want to do. Because if you didn't want to do it, you had a choice of not doing it. You had that choice. You did it because, you know, let's say you didn't want to pay your bills. Well, you know, you paid your bills because you didn't want your car taken away. You didn't want your house taken away, okay? You had choices. You only do what you want to do. And you say, well, JR, I don't want to pay taxes. Okay, that's something I have to do. No, you don't. You don't have to pay taxes. You go out there right now, tell them I don't want to pay taxes. Not a problem. And you say, well, JR, I'll end up in jail with a boyfriend named Bubba. I said, well, you must want to pay your taxes then. There's always alternatives. You need to change your attitude. You're not forced to do anything. Not at all. You're not forced. This is up to you. All these decisions are really up to you. Zoysia grass is great for hot, dry weather. Doesn't need watering. Check Zoysia out. Yeah, I know about that grass actually, James. They used to do ads for that in the back of magazines and everything for many years. But with the grass is already in, by the way. They've already landscaped it. They've already put in a sprinkler system and all that. So that's kind of a done deal. Number five. This is something that you guys aren't going to want to hear about once again. And I already mentioned it a little bit. Take charge of your health. Take charge of your health. You control your health. A lot of people say, well, oh my gosh, he's so lucky. He's so healthy. No, that person worked to have good health. My son is very healthy. He's in shape. His wife is. My daughter is. They all exercise. They all watch their diet. Every single one of them. They all exercise and watch their diet. That is what controls your health, guys. Now, is it possible you're still going to get cancer or MS or something like that? Of course, of course. But for the most part, if you want to be healthy, it has to do with exercise and proper diet. That's it. There's nothing else to this stuff. There's nothing else to this stuff. My wife and I decided we wanted to drop a little bit of weight, and we split meals when we go out now. You know, we split meals. We don't need an entire meal. We just don't need it. It's too much food. So we split meals, and lo and behold, the price for dinner is a lot cheaper too, which is kind of nice, I think. But you got to take care of your health, guys. Most people don't get this. They take, and this is not just physical, this is mental health too. They take their mental and physical health for granted. And it doesn't work that way. You're not like bestowed upon good health, okay? Some people have better genes, sure. I'm not going to argue that with you. But for the most part, if you get less sleep and eat unhealthy meals, you're going to be unhealthy. That's the way it's going to work. To boost your performance and your productivity, you have to learn to take care of your health. You have to offer your body what it needs to take you to success. If you don't feel good, all this stuff like this, you're not going to want to do. You're not going to want to do it because you don't feel good. And I get it. Nobody wants to work hard when they don't feel good. And the only way to feel good is get your rest, eat properly, and exercise. That's it. Okay, you can't stay up all night long drinking and partying and eating chips and dip. And I've eaten chips and dip, and I've stayed up sometimes before. But I know I never feel better in the morning when I do that. I feel a whole lot better when I get to bed at a decent hour and I wake up at a decent hour and I lower my caloric intake and I exercise. I always feel better. You've got to do that. You've got to take care of your health. It's so very important. There's probably nothing else on this list I'm going to give you today matters if you're unhealthy. If you're unhealthy, you can't do anything. You can't be productive. You can't be positive. You can't work on your relationships. You can't do any of these things if you're unhealthy. So right about mindset, Paul says, it sets the pace and gets you moving. Restaurants have oversized portions. Great idea to split meals. They really do, Paul. I mean, heaven forbid, some of these restaurants, you go to Cheesecake Factory, there's no way you should eat that whole meal. No way, no way. And we went to an Italian restaurant last night called Piacere Meal, and it was awesome. And I've been there many, many times, but they give you too much food. You know, we went with another couple, really good friends of ours, and both of them ordered separate meals. We split a meal, and they had to take over half their food home. Okay, they had to because it was just too much food. It was delicious food. It was great food. This is a really good Italian restaurant, but they give you too much. Okay, so taking care of your health, guys, means so much. Now, here's the next one. This is the one I struggled with a lot, and I think I've got a pretty good handle on it now. I'm not perfect at it, but I'm a lot better, and it's organize your life. Organize your life, okay? So this means several things. First off, you have to get some discipline, okay? You've got to have discipline. Being organized and being disciplined are hand in hand. You almost can't do one without the other, okay? So if I'm organized, I'm going to get up every morning and do a live for you guys at the same time, every single day, no matter how I feel, no matter if I want to do it or I don't want to do it. And I enjoy doing this, don't get me wrong, but there are some days you don't want to do things, okay? If you wait and only do things that you want to do, you're not going to be very successful, okay? And this is a list of success things I'm talking about today. And I know this is not practical. This is not stuff that you can just go, you know, like write the sales letter and you're going to make money type stuff. This is stuff that you got to think about. But if you don't get your head screwed on straight first, if you don't get organized first, all of the techniques I teach you on how to make money online aren't going to matter. So you've got to follow a routine and you got to stick to a schedule. This is super important. This is how you get organized. Being organized, plan ahead, stay consistent. Okay, I see so many people start, let's say, a YouTube channel, and they do like 3 videos in 3 days, and then they don't do one for a week, and then they do 2 more in a month, and then they don't do anything for a week and a half. And you can't do that. You've got to have a schedule. It's super important. There's going to be a lot of distractions, and a lot of people say, well, I couldn't get this done because this happened or that happened. Well, if this happened or that happened, you've got to stay up later. You got to get up earlier. You got to work longer. You've got to cancel some of your personal time to get things done. That's how it works. Your relationships, your health, and your work are things that can't be left alone on their own, okay? You've got to work on all these things. Now, sometimes those distractions can be like flattery, and they can be appealing. I have people contact me and say, hey, I want you to be my mentor, I want you to do this for me, that for me. That's a distraction. All right, that's a distraction, and I don't have time for that. And I love these people, and I want to help them, and I'll answer questions and stuff like that. I don't mean that. But to mentor somebody is the craziest thing in the world. I wouldn't do that. Even when I was paid to do it, I didn't like doing it. It's just not my thing, because I can't control what actions you're going to do. I can tell you all the things to do, but then if you don't do them, I get frustrated. So I'm bad in that area. Success actually means sticking to what will work for you rather than what works for another person. Your schedule does not have to be Elon Musk's schedule. Okay, he works 7 days a week, like 16, 18 hours a day. It's insane. Okay, that's his schedule, and that's okay for him. It may not be okay for you. It's not okay for me. I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. I don't need his level of success. I don't need to be the richest person in the world, but there are things I do need to do, and I can't be lazy. Lazy doesn't get it. Okay, I think I've taught both of my kids not to be lazy, and they're not. Neither one of them are. Working towards making my workspace organized like you and Jessica have done. We constantly work on that. Let's see here. What else you got to say, Paul? You got a few things here. Let me read some of the stuff. Okay. I remember in early days of McDonald's, a meal was a single cheeseburger and a small fry. It really was, and I remember like when the Whopper came out and the quarter pounder and all that, and then they did the double quarter pounder and the triple Whopper. I'm like, come on, we know it's too much food. We know it's too much food because you can look around you and see people. I had a person I knew that was from France years ago, and she came to America, first time in America. She flew to the airport, and I said, what was the first thing that really struck you when you got off the plane from France? And she says, well, I got off the plane, I looked around, and I said to myself, everybody's fat. That was the first thing that struck her. Everybody's fat. Okay, don't fall into that category, guys. You know if you're fat. Okay, you know if you're fat. I need to lose a little bit of weight. I could use 15, 20 pounds I could lose. But the thing is, you know if you're fat. You know if you need to lose weight. You know if you need to cut back. You know if you're trying or not. Okay, get rid of all the junk in your house and the chips and the candies and all that crap you've got. Get organized, guys. It's so super important. Number 7 I'm going to have for you today is become unbelievably passionate. Become unbelievably passionate. Now, how do you do that? Okay, how do you do that? It is really your motivation that you've got going as to what you want to do. You have to strive for excellence. That's how you become passionate. You have to want to do things better and more than everybody else around you. Okay, that's what you have to do. You have to develop a competitive mindset to where you want to do better. That's what's going to get this burning passion going in your system. Okay, a lot of people say, well, I'm just not passionate about anything. That's because you don't try to be great at anything. If you try to be great at things, you become passionate. That's how that works. You have to do the action first, and then you'll have the feeling. That's how it works. It's kind of like exercise. Like, I don't always want to exercise, but once I start doing it, I do the action of exercise, and when I'm done or halfway through it, I'm like, yeah, I do want to do this. I do want to do this. I didn't want to in the beginning. So you want to strive for excellence rather than sticking to being mediocre. Okay, being mediocre is saying, well, I did just as good as this person did. Oh, I did okay because that's what the average person does. Stop trying to be average. The average person doesn't have much, doesn't do much, doesn't try much. That's what the average person is. Is that what you want to be? I don't want to do that. This passion is super essential to being successful. If you don't have passion about something, you're not going to be very successful because you're not trying to beat anybody. It's okay to have competition, guys. I know nowadays we're taught where we get a trophy for just showing up, but that's ridiculous. You can't just show up. You've got to do something. You shouldn't get a trophy unless you won. I'm not a big proponent of even second and third place trophies. You lost. Okay, a second place person is the first loser. Right? A second place person is the first loser. And you say, well, JR, that's cruel. That's tough. That's harsh. Yes, it is. And that's how you become successful. It is true. It is cruel and harsh. And that's how you become successful. That's how I raised both my kids. And they're both pretty darn successful. That's how I think. Okay. Now, does that mean I always win? No. I get disappointed a lot. I lose probably 80% of the time. But the point is I have the passion to win. And that's what you need too if you really want to be successful. That's what you need. Let's see what else we got here. Ever enjoy a malted milk at Dairy Queen? I have not. I have had a malted milk many years ago at a drugstore called People's. I have had that, but I've never had one at Dairy. I haven't been to Dairy Queen in years. Have you ever belonged to a mastermind group? Yes, definitely. I've been in several of them. And I've been in mastermind groups. I was in a mastermind group with the guy who did the marketing for Beachbodies. He was a pretty amazing guy. And I'll tell you a quick story on that since you brought that up. I said, well, what do you think? Why do you think Beachbodies was so successful? And he says, well, what we would do is we would hire some instructor. Tony, I think, was one of them for, I can't remember the one program they had going on. P90X. They had this guy named Tony, and they hired him. And they decided they were going to do late night TV commercials. And everybody was telling them, but that doesn't work. Nobody watches those things. You can't make any money. But they did them. And these TV commercials were cheap, like $10, $20, $30, really cheap to run one late night. And they became wildly successful. So they said, well, let's hire another instructor and we'll call it something else and we'll do another course. And they did another one and another one and another one. And that's how they built Beachbodies. And he says pretty soon everybody had bought every course. I mean, we had saturated the market. So what we did is we went around the country and we found personal trainers that would work with us. And we would say, how much do you charge? And they would say, well, to train somebody $1,000. And they would say, great. And then what they would do is all those people who bought the courses, they would send out sales letters and emails and calls and sell them a $2,000 coaching program. And they would keep $1,000 of it and give $1,000 to the trainer. So now they had these coaches out there on top of everything else. And now they've gone to digital courses online. But they built it like that because they were really passionate about being successful. Okay, they were very passionate about that. So mastermind groups are great, though. That guy was in there. I met a lot of different people in that mastermind, and I've been to a bunch of other ones. Generally, the masterminds I go to are people who do in the millions of dollars a year. I want to hang out with people who, make at least what I do, if not a whole lot more than what I do, because I can't learn otherwise. I go there to learn, and I go there to help too, and I will help. Let's see here. Had a captain at work who ordered a double Whopper and cheese and a large fry every day. After his heart attack, which he survived, the meal became known as the widowmaker. Yeah, and it's not even that you can't eat a cheeseburger. You can. I had a cheeseburger yesterday. I had one at In-N-Out. I had one single cheeseburger with no fries and water. That was my meal. My wife had one single burger, no cheese, nothing else on it, and only ate about half of it. Okay, it is moderation. Moderation is what you got to do. But I will tell you, every successful person is passionate. Paul, what else we got? Worst thing I saw when I worked cardiac rehab was that 90% were smokers. Yeah, very true. I asked when they quit, and they said when they woke up with burn marks on their chest from Fry Daddy defibrillators. Oh my God. I was watching the movie Ghost the other night with my wife, and I got one more thing I'm going to cover. So I got one more thing, so stick with me. I was watching the movie with my wife, Ghost, and I looked up Patrick Swayze. Patrick Swayze died at 57. He was a good-looking guy. He was a great actor, but he smoked for 40 years, and he died of lung cancer. And there was another guy on the set, and I can't pronounce his name, but he was the really weird-looking guy, I guess, that was welcomed into hell at one point, or heaven, or whatever it was. And he died also at 57 of lung cancer, and he was also a smoker. Two people in that movie. So putting these toxins in your body will hurt you. And I smoked when I was young. I smoked from the age of probably 11 to, I think I quit when I was 20. My dad died when I was 19 years old. He was a smoker, a lifelong smoker. He died at 50. And I'm 61 now. I'll be 62 this year. So I quit doing that. I started exercising. I started eating a little bit better, and I don't eat perfect. I think a lot of people think, well, I can't eat perfect all the time. You don't have to. You can cheat. Okay, you can do things wrong. You just can't cheat more often than you don't. That's it. For the most part, you want to eat healthy, and then every now and then you can cheat. You can do that. My son almost never cheats, but when he does, he does. Okay, he cheats. He's got a great body. He's in shape. He's going to be in some of these competitions. But I think a lot of people get all tripped up because they're like, oh man, I messed up. I had this cigarette, or I had this drink, or I ate this bad meal, so I might as well just forget it now. No, that was just a momentary thing. You can still go back to doing the right thing. You can still go back. You don't have to throw everything out the window because you screwed up a little bit. Now, my next one is coming up. It'll be here in just 1 second. Let me read some of your comments here. Beachbody was a MLM product that grew to $1 billion. Yep. The Shakeology was a great product. Yes. And what it was is you became a Beachbody coach. A lot of people started YouTube channels to do that, and 99.9% of them quit. That's just what they do. Ever try any of Dan Kennedy's programs? I've not bought into his programs, but he's an excellent copywriter. Dan Kennedy is a very, very talented guy. I've read his book. I'm pretty sure he got several books, but I read one of them. And he's all about marketing. Yeah, he's a very talented guy, and I have a lot of respect for him. He's getting up in years now, I think. I mean, I don't know how old he is, but he's getting up in years. Okay, my last one for today. Are you ready for this? You want to write this one down? Do it now. Do it now. Tomorrow is not guaranteed, guys. It's not guaranteed. You need to get going now. You need to quit saying, tomorrow I'm going to do X. Next week I'm going to do X. When the weather changes, I'm going to do this. When I have more money in the bank, I'm going to do this. There are things you can do today, and you know it. There are things you can do today, and you know it. And you also know that there's going to come a time when you won't have any more time. You won't have any more time. It's going to be all over. Okay? And it could be all over because something physical happens to you and it prevents you, or you may just die. We're all going to do it. I mean, we don't like to talk about it, but you are going to die. Everybody is. I am. You are. Everybody is. So why not, while you're here, do something? You know, all these things I talked about today are things that people put off. You know, I'm gonna start eating right next week. I'm gonna start eating right after the holidays. I'm gonna exercise, you know, in the summertime. I'm gonna stop it. Just stop it. Do it right now. Okay, do it right now. The difference between successful people and those who are not successful is that unsuccessful people wait for things to happen. They wait for some event. They wait for some time. They wait for when it's convenient. They wait for when they have enough money in the bank, when they pay off a certain bill. They wait. That's the difference between successful and unsuccessful. Successful people never wait. They just do things, okay? You can't afford to do that anymore. You know it. Your regret is a terrible feeling. Regretting that you hadn't done things in your life is a terrible feeling. You have to dive into the ocean and engage to swim. You got to get going. You got to, okay? There cannot be a more perfect time to start doing these things to be successful than right now. How is any other time going to be better for you? How is any other time? You're not going to have more time later. People say, well, when I have more time, I will. You're never going to have more time. You're always going to have the same amount of time. You get 24 hours a day. Don't kid yourself. You're never going to have more time. Stop it. Stop it. When the kids move out, you know, when I get my divorce, whatever, stop it. Just get going. You're lying to yourself. You're a liar. You're lying to yourself. There's no event that you need to wait for. There isn't an event. It doesn't happen. It doesn't occur. There is no event, because once that event happens, something else is going to come up. There's always something that's going to give you a reason not to start. Stop it. Go ahead and start right now. Don't wait. Don't procrastinate. You're procrastinating. People say, when I get everything in line, I'm just a perfectionist, JR. You don't understand. No, you're not. You're a procrastinator. There's no such thing as a perfectionist, because nobody's ever been able to do anything perfect. Ever. Never. Okay? They got good at stuff. They're pretty darn good at. I watched Simone Biles last night doing her gymnastics. She's pretty damn good. Okay? And she may be the best there is in the world. She's not perfect. I saw her make a couple mistakes. She's not perfect. You're not going to be perfect. You got to quit waiting for that. You got to quit using that for an excuse, because saying I'm a perfectionist is saying I am a procrastinator. Okay, just change the word. Just change the word, because that's what you really are. Okay, let's see what you got to say here. James trying to. Well, there's Tyann. Oh wait, I got a bunch of things going on in here. Let me see what we got. You guys got good comments. Let's see here. Passion, purpose. This is Paul. Times massive amounts of action. Discipline is also key trait, like you pointed out. Practice candy, constant and never-ending improvement. Yes, you never reach an area where I'm done unless you're dead. Paul says, have a blessed weekend ahead, gang. Hope your packing is going well. Paul, it is a mess around here. You have no idea. We have people staying here to take care of the pets. And we had to invite them in yesterday and walk them around, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for what this place looks like. Good morning. Got in a hair late, but glad I am here. Tyann, good to see you. I saw, I think, a comment from you online, and I got to get through all my comments. I will get up with you. Don't worry about that. James says, peace and blessings always, everyone. See y'all tomorrow. He's going to be here tomorrow. The perfect time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. You know, and we're very lucky. Our new house, we have a tree in the backyard that's huge, that's probably been there 20, 30 years. The actual area of this neighborhood that's built used to be a cow pasture. So I guess the ground will be very fertile. I think that's a good thing. But we do have a nice tree because of that. We have several other small ones. Successful people don't need instant gratification. They have a long-range perspective. That's very true, James. And I think a lot of people in America, and I'm picking on America because I think we have gotten lazy. I think a lot of Americans have gotten very lazy. They've gotten to the point where they expect people to take care of them, like the government or whatever. And you know, I don't expect that, and I don't want that. It almost offends me if the government were to take care of me or do anything for me. That's offensive. Okay, it's like saying, well, I can't do for myself, and I don't ever want to feel that way. I just don't. I want to work, and I want to make things happen. So act now is important. So that's my spiel for today. I went a little bit over. I apologize for that. We've also got tomorrow. I have not posted tomorrow's up there, but I think you're really going to like tomorrow's. I've got it all written. I've got all my stuff planned out. I got my thumbnail done, got all that done. I just haven't posted it yet, but I will post it today so you can see what's going on tomorrow. I'll start traveling on Wednesday. I'm probably going to film this trip, and something else I'm going to do is the hotel we're staying at is very nice in North Carolina. It's going to be in Asheville, and I want to do a review of this hotel, a review of the amenities there so that you guys can see it and enjoy it along with me. So I will be posting that video. I'll probably be posting it on this channel right here. You guys have seen the house. You know, if you were here the other day, I showed you some pictures of the house and what it looks like. We're gonna get my kitchen all set up so I can actually film in there and get that thing going. Yeah, so that's what I got for you today. If you enjoyed today's session, do me a favor, subscribe, put in that chat section. If you liked what you heard today, put in that chat section you liked it. Do me a favor, subscribe, don't forget to ring the bell, turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live. That's super important. Give me a thumbs up. I need a thumbs up. If you're watching this and it's not live, it's a recording, I still come back, I answer comments. You can put comments in the comment section. In that comment section, I have a lot of links, I have free courses, I have all kinds of stuff you guys can get. Paul says, perfection is fear manifested as an excuse. I like that. Quit finding excuses and concentrate on the why to get going. Very, very true. Very, very true, Paul. Very well said. So guys, put these things into practice. This will help you be more successful. It's not easy. I'm not the guy who's going to tell you it's going to be easy. It's not easy, or else more people would be successful. Easy stuff doesn't make you successful. Difficult, challenging things makes you successful. Please realize that. And as soon as you realize that, you'll quit looking for easy ways, and you'll start feeling a whole lot better about doing the tough things and getting good results. I know I feel a whole lot better when I go through my workout and I've done tons of push-ups and sit-ups and all these things that I do at the end, because I'm like, I got through something tough. I did something tough. Okay, I feel a whole lot better about that. If it was super easy and not hard to do, at the end I wouldn't go, oh, look at me, I got through some easy stuff. No, I mean, I wouldn't do that, right? You wouldn't either. Quit trying to avoid difficult things. The difficult things are what you need to gravitate towards. Anytime you see stuff that you don't want to do, but you know it's good for you, you need to jump right on it and get it done. I hope this gets you a little insight today. Hope it points you in the right direction. Hope it gets you going. And I really appreciate you being here, guys. It's been awesome. I will see you again tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. Talk